Picture this: the Nile River, lush landscapes, and a civilization that's rapidly growing. This is ancient Egypt around 1500 BC. A land of mystery and intrigue where the sands of time have concealed many secrets. Ancient Egypt was a realm where pharaohs ruled supreme. These were not mere kings or queens, they were god-kings, divine beings who held the fate of millions in their hands. Their word was law, their power, absolute. The pharaohs were the sun around which the world of ancient Egypt revolved. But it was not a world of men alone. Women too had their roles to play. Often left in the shadows of their male counterparts, women were still integral parts of society. They were wives, mothers, and sometimes they were even pharaohs. Yes, in this patriarchal society there were women who dared to defy the norms, women who dared to rule. The societal norms of the period were stringent, yet surprisingly flexible. While men were the primary authority figures, women enjoyed a degree of power and influence that was unusual for the time. They could own property, initiate divorce, and even act as legal witnesses. But even with these liberties, the idea of a woman ruling as pharaoh was a concept both foreign and unheard of. Yet this was a world of gods and goddesses, where the divine was intertwined with the mortal, where the impossible could become possible. In this world, the line between man and woman, pharaoh and queen, could blur. In this vibrant world, a woman named Hatshepsut was born, who would defy norms and leave an indelible mark on history. Born into royalty, Hatshepsut was not just another princess of Egypt. She was the daughter of Thutmose I, a pharaoh who led Egypt to impressive military victories. With this lineage, Hatshepsut's life was far from ordinary. She was bathed in the politics and intrigue of the royal court from a tender age, gaining a unique perspective on power and leadership. Raised in the opulent royal palace, Hatshepsut was trained in the arts of diplomacy and governance, alongside the finer elements of Egyptian culture. These experiences shaped her into a savvy and cultured individual, well prepared for the trials of leadership that lay ahead. Her father's reign also provided an early exposure to the dynamics of power. As a young girl, she witnessed her father command respect and authority, steering the Egyptian civilization to prosperity. These formative years were not just about privilege and luxury, they were a masterclass in leadership. This early life laid the foundation for Hatshepsut's unprecedented rise to power. In a world dominated by men, Hatshepsut did the unthinkable. She became a pharaoh. This statement may seem simple enough, but the reality behind it is a tapestry of political maneuvering, strategic alliances, and sheer determination. Hatshepsut was not born to be a ruler. She was the daughter of Pharaoh Thutmose I and Queen Amosi, the secondary wife and not the main queen. However, fate had other plans. When Thutmose I passed away, his son Thutmose II, born from his primary wife, ascended to the throne. As was customary in ancient Egypt, to solidify his rule he married his half-sister, Hatshepsut. When Thutmose II died after a short reign, the throne passed to his infant son, Thutmose III. But an infant couldn't rule Egypt, so Hatshepsut stepped in as regent, a placeholder until the young king could rule. Yet, Hatshepsut had tasted power, and she had no intention of stepping aside. She began to present herself as the rightful ruler of Egypt, not as a queen, but as a king. She wore the traditional false beard of pharaohs, and had herself depicted in statues and carvings in the masculine form of a pharaoh. Hatshepsut emphasized her royal lineage, reminding the people that she was the blood of Thutmose I. She cleverly formed alliances with key officials, ensuring their loyalty by granting them power and wealth. She also maintained a strong military presence to protect her position and to keep the nobles in check. Moreover, she championed major building projects, which not only employed many Egyptians but also served as a visual reminder of her power and legitimacy. It was a bold and audacious move, but it worked. Hatshepsut successfully ruled Egypt for about 20 years, and the country thrived under her reign. In the end, Hatshepsut did more than just fill a power vacuum. She reshaped it in her image. Hatshepsut was now the pharaoh, a title that no woman before her had held. The reign of Hatshepsut was marked by prosperity, peace, and architectural marvels. Now, let's delve into the heart of her rule, which was a time of remarkable achievements that left indelible marks in the annals of Egypt's history. One of the most striking aspects of Hatshepsut's reign was her architectural ambition. She initiated some of the most audacious building projects of her time, transforming the landscape of ancient Egypt with her grand vision. The most notable of these projects was the mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, a masterpiece of ancient architecture. This temple, nestled in the cliffs of the Theban mountains, was an architectural marvel, its terraces and colonnades reflecting the golden rays of the Egyptian sun. But it was more than just a monument to the dead. It was a testament to Hatshepsut's power and vision. In addition to her architectural feats, Hatshepsut was also noted for her successful expeditions, particularly to the land of Punt. This was no small feat. The journey to Punt was fraught with dangers, from treacherous sea currents to potential hostilities with the Puntites. But under Hatshepsut's leadership, the Egyptians not only reached Punt, but also established a successful trade relationship, bringing back a wealth of goods, from incense and myrrh to exotic animals and gold. This expedition was such a success that it was depicted in detailed reliefs on the walls of her mortuary temple, showcasing the queen's triumphs to all who visited. But perhaps the most defining aspect of Hatshepsut's reign was her focus on economic prosperity. Unlike many of her predecessors, she chose not to engage in costly military campaigns, instead investing in trade and infrastructure. This focus on economic development led to a period of prosperity and stability, with Egypt becoming a major trade hub in the ancient world. The wealth generated from these endeavors was used to fund her ambitious building projects and to support the arts, leading to a cultural renaissance. Despite being a woman in a male-dominated society, Hatshepsut proved herself to be a capable and effective leader. She managed to maintain peace, foster economic prosperity, and embark on ambitious architectural projects, all while navigating the complex politics of her time. She was a woman who defied expectations, who broke barriers, and who left an indelible mark on the history of Egypt. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Hatshepsut's reign is the legacy she left behind. Despite attempts by her successors to erase her from history, her achievements remain, etched in the stone of her monuments and the sands of the desert. And while her rule may have been unconventional by the standards of her time, it was undoubtedly one of the most significant periods in Egypt's long history. Under Hatshepsut, Egypt thrived, and her legacy was etched in stone and sand. The death of Hatshepsut is shrouded in mystery, but her legacy is undeniable. Like a desert mirage, the circumstances of her demise have baffled historians for centuries. Some postulate that she passed away due to a disease, possibly bone cancer, as indicated by the analysis of her mummy. Others speculate that her stepson and successor, Thutmose III, might have played a role in her sudden disappearance from historical records. After her death, a peculiar event unfolded. Hatshepsut's name and images were systematically erased from many monuments and public records. Was it an attempt to obliterate the memory of a female pharaoh, or was it a political strategy by Thutmose to solidify his power? The answers are as elusive as the desert wind. Yet, the sands of time could not bury Hatshepsut's remarkable legacy. As a ruler, she prioritized peaceful relations and trade over warfare. Her reign was marked by architectural innovation, including the majestic temple at Deir el-Bahri, a testament to her vision. She also launched a historic expedition to the land of Punt, bringing back precious resources and exotic animals. In the 20th century, Hatshepsut was rediscovered and reinstated in the annals of history. Archaeologists unearthed her statues, inscriptions, and the remnants of her grand projects. Her mummy, identified in 2007, finally provided tangible proof of her existence. Today, Hatshepsut's story serves as a beacon, illuminating the vast potential of female leadership. She broke the glass ceiling of her time, demonstrating that a woman could rule an empire as effectively, if not more so, than a man. Her reign was a period of prosperity and growth, a golden era that enriched Egyptian civilization. Queen Hatshepsut, a female pharaoh who ruled with wisdom and courage, continues to inspire us even today.